So I'm sure, to be sure, I'm start all over again. Yes or
Yes.
no? Yes, yes,
Yes, we're
okay.
going to start all
Yeah.
over again, and I apologize for that. Folks, we've been having some technical difficulties. This is Astrid van Triet, and she's joining us live from the Netherlands. And she's going to be talking about living togetherness, and I'll let her take the floor from here.
Okay, thank you very much, Ron. So I hope the connection stays. Well, living together costs nothing. Being together on Earth costs nothing. And in the center of this knowing, I want to explain equivalent money. Now, people don't know what equivalent money is, and I'll wait for a while to explain it, because once you know what equivalent money is, then after that, you will know what it will create, what kind of changes it will create. And I first want to start with this one, what kind of changes it will create, because I want to make a comparison with other processes we already know. And then later I'll tell what equivalent money is.
Very good.
Thanks. So the comparison is, look at the time that Black people were suppressed. So the Black people had a lot of problems that they experienced in their lives, and a lot of anger between white and Black. Now, what was laying in the midst of all these problems, so you don't have to look at all the problems as is, but what was in the midst of all these problems, that was the freedom of Black people. The freedom of Black people was already of Black people. It's their possession, it's their spiritual possession. But their freedom was switched off. It was suppressed. It was gone. So what was the big change on Earth? No, when was the big change starting? When the freedom was switched on again. And from that moment on, Black people could make real new choices and start rethink their own life and so on. And everything started to change on Earth. Not only for Black people, also for white people. So this was a change, that something that was already of Black people was switched off, but now switched on. This is the big change. And how did they do this? How did they create it? It was switched on again by standing up for themselves, because they were really done with suppression. They were done with it. So together they stood up for themselves. So this is what we also have to do with getting our free life entrance back again on Earth. This is the context within we have to do it. And I want to make another comparison. Did Black people get help from extraterrestrials? No, they did not. No. So I can see on the internet a lot of people are waiting for extraterrestrials, and I understand, because as people feel powerless, they start to hope for those things. But that's why I address Black people and also women and gay people. It was all the same process. In the midst of all these problems was their freedom switched off. And they themselves made it switch on again to stand for themselves together. Now, this is how we have to look at equivalent money too. Because equivalent money shows that living together costs nothing. So we have to stand for this. Now I'll explain equivalent money. What is equivalent money? Now we look at the world now. It's pure suppression, and it's done by a system. And the whole system on Earth, you can say, yeah, well, it has got good things too, but are you removing a run? Do I have to remove?
No, I'm just centering myself in front of the camera.
Okay. So we're living via a system. And then you can say, yeah, that is good and that is wrong. But look what the system does. It spits out people. And that's the only thing where we need to look at. It spits out people. There are people starving. There are people in big trouble. People getting out of the houses, putting out of the houses. Those people are placed out of the system, are placed out of our togetherness. Now, if you look at the terms of the system, the terms of the systems is money, the availability of money. This is the terms of the system on earth. So how do we get all these people who are spitted out, how do we get them back in this system again? Well, very simple answer, that this system creates the money numbers for these people equivalent to being alive.
Okay.
This is equivalent money. And in the Netherlands, to be alive, it's about 750 euro numbers. So equivalent money would be, for me, be 750. What would it be for you, Ron, equivalent?
I don't know. I get $939 a month, Social Security, and occasional donations. And every few months now, I get a YouTube sharing check for a little over $100. It used to be every other month, but lately it's been every 3 or 4 months. I think they changed the way they do it. I don't know.
Okay, but what would be the amount of dollars that you need to simply be alive? Simply being alive. It's about 900?
It depends on how much expenses we have to live. I mean, if somebody has a mortgage or rent to pay on their place where they live, I mean, most places where I live, my income would, I mean, the rent or mortgage would eat up almost all of my income and leave nothing left for food or anything else.
Yeah, but that's the mortgage. But simply being able to be alive, so that you have somewhere a small room with a little rent. What is the basic needs? It must be somewhere about 930, because that's why you have this allowance of 930.
I guess so. I mean, the reason I'm able to live on the Social Security is because I don't have a mortgage and I don't have rent. And I need a roof over my head, and I have a roof now that's provided not just for me, but for my daughter, her husband, and 3 grandchildren.
Yeah, but most people can live in your country for about $900.
I would say most people can't live anywhere near. That would be poverty level income.
No, pure your body being alive. So I'm not talking about going to school or whatever. Pure your body being alive. So food, drink, electricity, little shelter. Pure basic.
Yeah, I don't know what the number would be.
No, okay, but I think it will be about 900. So for you, the equivalent money of being alive is 900. For me, the equivalent money of being alive is 750. And maybe in Poland, the equivalent money is 500. I don't know, but in your region, you know what is needed to simply be alive. Now, and if your body is alive, you are free to do whatever you want. If your body is alive, my body is alive, then you and I can exchange with every currency we want.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, and this is all done on computer, right?
No. This was a question.
Okay.
This was not, no. This,
okay.
We understand that if your body is alive and that my body is alive, that we are not dependent on dollars or euros. We can use any means of exchange that we want.
As long as it's agreed upon by those that we want goods or services from.
No, between you and me.
Oh, okay. Okay, just between the two of us. Okay.
If I want to exchange my talents with you.
That's true. Any two people. Uh-oh, you froze up again. Oh, God.
Hi, Ron.
I don't know. I did
Yeah.
not lose internet connection.
Now this time it was my internet connection that was gone.
Wow. It's still recording.
Okay, so
Hasn't, on my end, nothing changed except that I lost you.
yeah, my internet connection was gone. So where was I? Okay, the equivalent money in your country. So now, uh, all the people who are spitted out, so all the people in trouble, how do we get them back in our togetherness again? Well, let the system create the equivalent money numbers for all these people to be alive. So for you, the number 900, for me, the number 750, and so on, because it is just numbers.
Yes.
Everybody knows now in the world, and really we must come to terms with this information that all the money in the world is just one big spreadsheet. It's just numbers.
Indeed, it is.
It is. So we're not gonna compete with numbers, are we? We're not gonna say, no child, you have to die, because we're not gonna put some numbers in a spreadsheet for you. We're not gonna say this, are we?
Not sane people.
No, but this is indeed, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We have to tell this over and over and over again that we really want that those numbers are created in those big spreadsheets for the people, at least for the people who are in trouble. And what amount? Well, equivalent to being alive. And this costs nothing. It's just numbers.
Indeed, that's true.
Yeah. And this reaction you give, I understand, Ron. I understand the reaction that you give, but you are not in contact with the meaning of it. You are not in contact with the impact of it. Because this is what we really must um, tell our facilitation bureaus, our governments, that we really want them to create this equivalent money for people. That we really want this. Do you understand this? This is what we must stand for. But I know in the head of a lot of people, they say, yeah, actually it's just numbers. Yeah, that's funny. That's not how I mean it. I really mean, I really want them to create these money numbers for people. It's just numbers. So this is equivalent money. Create the money numbers that is needed to be alive. Costs nothing. You agree?
Yeah, if it was agreed upon by the whole world, it would work.
Yeah,
That's the thing. You keep saying you want them, the government, to create these numbers for people. We're depending then on them to do it. And we can agree to do it between you and me.
We don't depend on them. We depend on each other of really expecting them to do so. You don't expect them to do so. I mean, from innerly. Innerly, you don't think, yeah, I really want that it is created now. And surely for all the people who are in trouble and starving, I want them to create it now. This feeling from inside. This is what we depend on. Because black people didn't say either, yeah, we're not gonna ask our suppressors to stop suppressing because then we are dependent on them. No, they were innerly. They started to say, now you stop suppressing us. Do you understand the comparison?
Somewhat.
And I don't say to governments like, I need your help. No, I say you must stop suppress us. You must create the money numbers. This is for free, costs nothing. And this is my togetherness on earth. I don't want people to die because of a system in the head of people.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Totally.
Yeah. And this is what we must express, that we really want them to do this. And by this, we show the world that they don't do it. And now I come in the thing in the middle, you know, where I started with the comparison.
Okay.
Something in our lives is switched off. The creation of this equivalent money is switched off. Because it should have been like this always. Because you and me go to the grocery and to the butcher, we pay electricity. So, me being alive means that I do create an economical space for the butcher, for the baker. Do you agree?
Yes, but not the power company. A butcher and a baker, we can deal with individuals. The power company is a corporation. I'm dealing with my power company right now.
No.
And they keep trying to tell you their terms, and I'm saying I'm not agreeing to your terms.
Yeah, I understand. But we don't have to look outside. Not first. First, stay here.
Okay.
I am the creator of this economical space. Okay. Because I am alive, I am creating an economical space for the butcher, for the baker, for the gas company, for the electricity, and so on. For everything by which I am alive, I am the creator of this economical space. If I am dead, then the bakery loses some economical space. If my whole street dies, yeah?
Okay, keep going.
If my whole street dies, then the bakery loses its economical income of the whole street.
Okay.
So the whole street creates the economical space for the bakery. And I, as one person, create also space for the bakery. Me being alive is the creator of the economical space. So all the money that belongs to this economical space, so the 750 equivalent money, which costs nothing, this belongs to me. I am the creator of this economical space. It belongs to me. So it must be created for me, so that I bring it to the baker and the butchery and so on and so on.
Okay. And how is this done practically, Astrid? Where you are right now, how is it working right now?
No, you're skipping
where you live in the
something,
Netherlands, how is it working? That's what I want. That's what we need. People need to get how it actually works.
You're still you're still skipping something. We go back to the comparison of black people. Yeah?
Okay.
So now you say before the freedom of black people was switched on again, before it was switched on again, you say to them, now how you're gonna make it applicable, your freedom. But it was not switched on again. Do you understand?
Forgive me, but I don't think any switch in humanity has ever been switched on yet that works across the whole spectrum of human society. I don't see it. I don't see it in a practical way.
No, exactly. And so this is why we have to stand for now, that they will switch it on. So you will have to
Everyone,
come, everybody has to
everybody
stand
has to
for
do
this.
it. I agree. I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally get
So, and you're asking, because I heard your question more times before. So you are asking how I get applicable now so that poor people are helped now.
yes,
Yeah. Oh, not because it is not implemented.
exactly. It's
And,
not implemented.
and I am not going to say poor people. Poor people must shout for this equivalent money themselves. They must shout for themselves. Create these numbers for me. Cost nothing. The whole country must shout this.
Oh,
And then,
I'm with you there. The whole country, the whole world needs to be shouting this.
yes, and they
I
must do this,
absolutely get it. I agree with you.
and they must shout this by themselves, for themselves. You know, I don't need to come with a plan to save them from poverty. No, they must be fucking mad that people leave them alone like this and then stand for their equivalent money. It's just numbers in a spreadsheet. And I deliberately, you know, the way I speak is genuine. I'm not faking, but I could choose not to do so, but I do this deliberately. People must come in contact with their anger.
I
They must come in
oh, I
contact that
agree with you big time there.
yeah, so I'm not going to make it applicable for them at all. No, they have to stand for their equivalent money. And then there is one thing everybody needs to know, because in the whole world, everybody thinks that everything is complex and so on. Well, it's not, because our being alive is not complex at all. Just create the money numbers. Yeah.
Yes.
And what also is not complex at all, in the current banking system, you must know that it takes only one programming rule in the software of the banking applications to create this equivalent money for everybody.
Yeah. It could be done like that.
Exactly. And so we are the ones who need to say that they must do this. And we must not address any more taxing problems or any other kind of problems. No, we must keep on telling them, create the numbers, create the equivalent numbers.
I'm hearing you.
Meanwhile, as long as governments are not doing this, then you and I and other people who really want to live from togetherness
Okay.
can do something else. But I want to be very explicit,
Please.
because I know how people think. Most people think, yeah, well, I'm not going to tell this to my government. Don't you have another plan, Astrid? So they don't step in the anger. They don't tell about the equivalent money to the government, and then they're searching for another plan with me. I am not there. I say you must address your governments for the equivalent money, and meanwhile, while they still don't do this, then you and I can do something else. Meanwhile, I'm very explicit about it. So, equivalent money is just that you can create 900 money numbers and that I can create 750 money numbers, equivalent money. So, if you and I want, so outside the current money system now, if you and I want to work with equivalent money, we just create this. And then we want some application on the internet where we can create our equivalent money and we can do transfers to with each other. Now, and this is built already. So this application is built. It's on the internet, and it is called Equi.
Right.
And in English, it's called Moneyplace. Moneyplace.net. And there you can create your equivalent money, and I can create my equivalent money. So if I buy something from you, then I just transfer like 5 Equi equivalent money, and then it's created on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already there for, I don't know, several years already. And we can use it. Everybody can use it.
Yeah.
And then there is a big step to go in our minds, because I was talking about poor people and so on who have nothing, but with equivalent money, they are alive.
Yes.
If that is in the current system, if that one programming rule starts, then everybody is alive by this equivalent money. But now, as governments still don't do this, we are outside the old system. So here comes the information of life circles. And this is for people who really want to live together, who really want to step into the new, who say we're not going to wait for government, we step into the new. Now what I am going to explain you is not going to make people want to step into the new.
Okay.
It is for the people who want to step in the new. Do you understand the difference?
Yes, you're building a community of people that agree to do their bartering or trading or living together in a certain way.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to get people doing this. No, this is for people who want to do this. So the explanation is, what do you need? What do you really need? Your body to be alive. Now, we still live under suppression, because the old did not change. We still live under suppression. So what do? We make it possible for each other that we can pay with our Equi currencies to get the euros or the dollars or the zlotys or the rupees that we need to be alive. So then we really have life entrance via our Equi money, but we don't bring it to the bakery and the butcher and the gas and the electricity company, because otherwise they would have to change first. They have to go in. If I want to be able to pay with my Equi currency at the butcher and the bakery and the electricity, then all these people need to change first to go into transition and say, yeah, you can pay me with Equi currency.
Yes, you have to have agreement on the other side that's receiving your Equi.
Yeah, and that is not going to happen. That is not going to happen, because if people agree on this, then they would stand for the one programming rule, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but people who do want to live together this way say to each other, well, you can pay me with your Equi for euros or dollars, etc.
Right.
And then you can create groups together. Like example, maybe you have 90 persons in your community on the internet who will say, well, Ron, you can pay me every month 10 Equi, and then I'll give you $10 for it in return.
Okay.
So if you have 90 persons who do this with 10 Equi dollar exchanges every month, then you'll have your life entrance, isn't it? You are alive with 900.
Yes.
And you don't have to tax anyone for it, is it?
No, there's no taxing. There's there's none of the oppression of the current system in that, because it's, as long as the people agree to it, you've agreed to it.
Exactly, exactly. So this is the life circle.
Yeah.
For people who really do want to live together and say, we're not going to wait on government. And this is what I do already since, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. No, 7 years now.
You started this in 2006 or 2005, or wasn't it? Or,
yeah,
or was it 7?
Yeah, I started it in 2006 because I had this awareness and started to talk about it.
Gotcha.
And started to search for people who resonated on it, and then people to create together this Equi place and so on,
Right.
and to co-create on all the awareness that is coming out of all this Equi awareness. This is done for years with Masha Rudolph.
Right.
So when I started it in 2006. Yeah.
And how many people in the Netherlands are actually living with this system right now and able to enable each other to live more free than under the old system? How is that working in in your community where you've been doing this for the past 8 years?
Yeah, well, there are very few people doing this. How many? I don't know, because it's not a gathering or something, you know. I don't know who is using Equi and so on, but I know there are not many people doing this.
Right.
And in the years, it is every time the same obstacle for people. People who do have money, do have old money, yeah, they want to hold on to this money. So they don't want to say, yeah, you can pay me with Equi and then I'll give you dollars. They grab to their dollars.
Okay. Yeah, because people will automatically gravitate toward what is currently working. And it's very, very difficult to make the leap to something that people cannot see working yet, because it takes a large group of people in agreement with each other in order to make any new system work. It can work in a community, on a commune or something like that. And there are many communes around the world where people are doing exactly what you're saying. It is a living togetherness because they've agreed to certain terms of interacting with other people, and there is their needs are met. There is cooperation. The world has been brainwashed with competition.
Yeah,
that's part of the suppression.
I understand what you say, but now listen to me. For me, it already works fully. Why? Because I really want to live together.
Yeah,
and I really do. No, and I really do this.
Okay.
I do accept Equi currencies. So I'm done. I'm ready. Do you understand what I'm saying? I do want you to be on Earth.
Oh, yes, and I want everybody, even the cabal. I mean, I want everybody.
Yeah, okay. Me too. So, but I really live this. I really accept Equi currency. So I live together. I do it. And it doesn't matter for me that it is not 1 million other people doing it. I do it. I want to live together, and I do it. This is it. And I know most people are not into living together at all. They say they are in living together. I know, because they say, yeah, there are a lot of trouble on earth, and well, all the mess must be cleaned up, yeah, but don't touch my life, don't touch my position, don't touch my money, don't touch my securities, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Well, that's not living together. Living together is really accepting each other's equivalent money, because you can create your own money. Then you are free. If we accept your money, your equivalent money, then you are free. So I do accept. And when I don't have euros, no, I can't accept. But when I do have euros, I do accept. So it works 100% for me.
Okay, good.
Because this is the perspective. It is for people who really do want to live together, who want to accept each other's equicurrencies.
Yeah.
And that is what the life circle is about too. If 90% around you really do want to live together with you, then they accept your equicurrency. And it's there. You can go to Equi place, and then they can transfer dollars to you. It's already there. You can do this already.
There's somebody, I think Masha, somebody did $100 and put in my Equi account. I think they gave $100 to it. I've not tried to use it anywhere because I don't know of the things that I need to live. I don't know where it's accepted. I don't know.
No,
I don't know how it's viable. I could do it with you if I wanted a service from you or from someone else that was in part of the Equi system. I could trade and barter with you, but I can't do it with someone that's not already in the system. And most of the products and services that I use for my life are conducted with people that are not aware of this, not using it.
No, but you are the one who has to spread it. If you want to live the way too,
then
you have to spread it.
I hear that. I hear that clearly, Astrid. I really do.
And if there, and this should be the flipping point for everybody, if there is in the surrounding, if in your surrounding someone is starving, you're not going to give donations. You're not going to do this anymore. You're going to say, well, you can pay me with your equicurrency and pay me 50 Equi and I'll pay you $50. And then you can eat.
Okay.
And then on this person who is starving, I need to take this as an example. I'm very sorry, but this starving person now creates Equi, and immediately, because you give dollars back for it, so immediately the fake created shortage is turned in a normal abundance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everything that you put out comes back to you.
Yeah. Now this poverty of this person has created 50 Equi, and this goes in the Equi community, if you can say this.
Right.
Because you get the 50 Equi of the so-called poor person, and with this 50 Equi, you can pay me.
Mm-hmm.
But the flipping point is there are three worlds now. The old, that can be changed within one day by this one programming rule to create all our equivalent money.
I agree, and I think that will eventually happen. I don't know when, but I do believe that will
go in
that direction.
But we need to stand for this. So it's the old. not moving at this moment, and then the fully new spit it out. Equi place shows that we are spit it out. Do you understand this?
Mhm.
That's why Equi place is outside the current system. Because
Okay, and
our
what's the,
equivalent
you said there were 3 ways. What's the third thing? The old,
worlds.
new,
Yeah, 3 worlds.
3
3 worlds,
worlds.
yeah.
Okay.
So the old and the new, and the people say we create a transition in our own lives. So we create Equi and give euro back for it.
Okay.
So then we release each other of the suppression of the old, because the old is grabbing euros. We don't grab euros. We say no. Here it's euros, and then you can create Equi, and from that we start live the new.
Yeah, so the third world is the bridge between the old and the new, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Yes, and we already live the bridge. How? Well, by accepting Equi for living euro numbers, living dollar numbers.
Right. Or whatever the currency is in the country that the person is in.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And this is the bridge. And everybody who really wants to live together and says, I'm going into transition now, can start today. Today. And even, even if you can only do an exchange of €1 each month, then I would say if you really are in togetherness. So I'm not trying to make people go into togetherness. This is for people who are really into togetherness. Then I would say even if you can only do €1 Equi exchange month, then I would say, well, then do it. Then you have the experience. Then you have to step in the experience. Then you have to talk to you, Ron. Like, oh, Ron, will we do an exchange? Oh yeah, how we're gonna do this then? You have to talk about it. And then only then the field will grow. And if you do this with €1 Equi exchange, it's okay too.
Yeah, well, I know I've been talking to people about my vision for a better world for a long time, and I'm doing it very consistently. There's still a lot of resistance, a lot of suppression, as you say, that people don't get it. There are more and more people that are getting it, though. And I believe the ultimate reality is we are going to learn how to live together in a cooperative spirit. We're going to be able to transcend all of the issues that we've been presented with in the slavery of the old system. We're moving in that direction.
Well, I hear you. It's true. It's true. But I want to take it to another area.
Please do.
I am telling you, I am already living it. I said before, but I am already living it. There is nothing else.
Okay.
We don't need to transcend something or whatever. We don't have to make the world go. We don't have to save the world. No, we only have to say, I live this way. I do live this way. And I can point out who does not. This discernment is here now because I do live it. This is the message. I am the message.
Yeah.
I am the one I am not waiting anymore for.
Right, you're here. I'm here.
Yeah,
We're all
I am
here now.
I am living this for a lot of years now already. And this is it. And also on the one programming rule, I also do a lot of work on, well, first, years ago it was informing government about all this awareness. But as they did not respond, then I started to, how do you call it, demanding that they do it, and then I show them I am angry that they are suppressing me, and I invited the heads of police departments to go publicly in dialogue with me. They refused. So I invited them again. They refused. So I made a video about their refusal and put it on the internet. And now I even ask protection from the military. So this is what I do too, because I do want to live together, and I do want my life entrance, and I don't want to be taxed by nobody. And I want to meet each other in our free living together.
Yeah, I totally agree with the principles of what you're saying. And there are many other visionaries that have similar proposals to make it work. I get them from people all the time. The bridge between the dream or the vision and the reality of living in the world is the thing that's so difficult to transcend for me. And I know you're shaking your head, but let me ask you a question, Astrid. Have you, in the 8 years that since you've developed this Equi, have any of your utility companies or any of the corporate structures that you do business with for goods or services, have you managed to get any of them to accept Equi as payment for their bill?
No, I don't need to. I don't need to. If we want to do it as a society, it must be done in our current system.
Okay.
You know, this is this one programming rule. In the current banking applications, every month 750 must be created for me.
Right.
And then it's called euro, isn't it? And for you it's called dollars. And you get $900 each month, except me €750 each month. And then we go to the butcher and the bakery, and they don't have to change anything in their currency. So on a society level, I do all this about the one programming rule, that it must be in the actual banking applications.
I get that, and I agree.
On people who really want to live together, I do it on the Equi-Euro exchange. I am not trying to get the world to use Equi. No, the world must let her current system work this way. But as nobody is interested, it did not stop me for living the normal way I want to live. So I said, then I create the application that I can live this way. Okay. But I'm not trying to get the world to Equi. To Equi. No. Do you understand?
So Equi can work in cooperation with other visions of a new system that's separate, in a separate world from the old world. I mean, you don't see yourself as the Equi system as competing with Bitcoin, for example, or some of the other alternative.
Bitcoin is totally nothing. Bitcoin is the old.
Okay.
It creates out of lack. Can you create your Bitcoin?
I never tried. I don't.
No, but you know something about Bitcoin. Now let's take the starving child again. Or the poor child. The poor child can create as many Equi as it needs to pay you for the dollar.
But it can't create Bitcoin.
It cannot create all the bitcoins.
Right.
So Bitcoin is the old.
Okay. Yeah.
Bitcoin is not about, it is not about the real value of this child.
I agree.
We value
Each one of us as humans are the real value.
exactly.
Always has been.
Exactly. And this is true in
Except,
a
as you said,
spiritual.
we've been enslaved in our minds.
Yeah. But it's true in a spiritual way that we are the value. I value you being here on earth. No conditions. So it's in a spiritual way true, but it's also in an economical way true. I already create 750 economy. I am the economical value.
Right.
And this is this truth in the middle of everything, of all the shit now. This is this truth that we already create our economical value by simply being alive. And it's dropped. It must be switched on again.
Yeah.
The money numbers. Create money numbers to be alive. That's it. And then once we do this, when now I'm talking about the one programming rule again. So whole society goes into this transition by one programming rule, costs nothing. So then you know now what equivalent money is. So what happens then? How we live then? Well, immediately the Social Welfare Bureau is gone. Within one day, it's gone. It's gone. We don't need to do anything for it. It's gone because we don't need welfare anymore because we all have our life entrance money, which costs nothing.
Right.
And so when it's switched
Everything in the
on,
old system is created out of nothing too, and it costs nothing for them to create it.
But
It's all an illusion.
yeah. So now it's all this money is created, but it's going to a select group of people, and we all must stand for ourselves that it must come to us, and we are the economical backup for it. We create this economical space by being alive.
Absolutely.
This must be switched on again, our equivalent money, and then all the changes will come by themselves.
Yeah. Okay, Astrid, I think you've explained as best it can be explained what it's about, and some people will get it, other people won't. That's the way it is when I put my message out. Some people will get it, some people won't, and until we all get it, we still have to switch the lights on and overcome the mental slavery and the suppression that's within each of us.
Yes, and that's why I keep on being very explicit.
Right.
Otherwise, the light will not go on.
Well, thank you very much, and I have a busy day scheduled for myself, and I need to move on to other things. And I'm hoping I can create a video that, with all these pieces, that will be intelligible. I have to put some time aside later to really work, because there's going to be a lot more editing because of the technical difficulties than just simply putting the video up. I mean, so I've got a lot of work to do today. So thank you.
I'm sorry that it went this way, but okay. But thank you very much for the opportunity to explain all this. And it was very nice to talk to you, Ron.
Very well, and it's good to see you. I've never seen you actually sort of semi-live before, so it's good.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Very good. Thank you very much, and namaste.
Namaste, Ron.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.